Brand new LCP.
Yes, sir, man. You guys are now locked into a brand new episode. This is Dad.
Brand new LCP.
I want to give a big shout out, man, to you guys, man, who have been supporting these LCP shorts, because these LCP shorts, they have been great for starting so many good conversations, good dialogue on so many real issues that I feel like pertains and relates to so many of us. One more hand clap, man. Now, this past week, I received a message regarding polygamy and how she's going through this right now regarding her man wanting to have multiple people. So that's what I want to focus this LCP short on. Polygamy, is it something that you agree with? Is it something that you would partake in? Now, if you're a man or woman, how do you feel about that? Your partner coming to you and telling you, hey, you know, this is what I want. I believe that I should be able to have multiple partners. Is that something you agree with? Is it something you don't agree with? Because, man, when I tell you guys, man, how difficult it is now, because, matter of fact, let me read the message I got. Maybe one of your topics on a future podcast episode could be about polygamy. I'm dealing with that now. I'm not sharing. But he claims to be an Israelite. And it's in the Old Testament, and it is his right to have multiple partners. I've done my own research about it, and it is a complicated issue. I'm at a place in my life, at a point in time right now, I will not share my mate with anyone. I know what I bring to the table, and I know I'm more than enough for one man, and I want to be appreciated as such. I want to clap for that, man. Because she's right, and that's why when you get to a topic such as polygamy, it is tough, and it does cross a lot of boundaries, because in some cultures, polygamy is okay. Polygamy is seen as the norm, but as we know, when it comes to U.S. culture, American culture, and our society, polygamy is not something that's universally, clapped about. Motherfuckers don't clap about somebody's, your partner having multiple people. Now, of course, sometimes it happened and you don't know in relation to if somebody's a cheater, if somebody's straying and some shit like that. But it's normally not something that we do openly. It's not something that we go online on social media and that we parade around. Hey, my partner has, 3 other girls outside of me, or my partner has, 4 other men. It's not something that we speak about because we'll get frowned upon. You'll get booed. Now, of course, in so many instances in America, sometimes it happens. And again, that goes back to what people are willing to accept. But as she said in the message, I'm not okay with that. I'm not accepting that because I feel like I am way more. So if a man needs multiple people, I'm not willing to accept that. Now, the cookie cutter answer would be, if that is not something that you are willing to accept, then leave. When it comes to leaving a relationship, it's easier said than done, because you might have kids, you might have in a long-term attachment, a emotional bond with this person to where, let's say, for example, they've been together about 7 to 8 years. It's tough to simply have 7 to 8 years of your life, the last 7 to 8 years of your life, magically go away. It vanishes overnight. That's why I say it's not black and white, but I want to play a quick clip before I play a voice message that I got about polygamy from my guy Sully. Shout out my guy Sully, man. Y'all know my guy from the segment Stories with Sully. Now, I found the clip. This is in the U.S. where there's a black man and he has 4 wives. Now, it didn't start like that, but listen to this. I'll let him tell it.
Jasmine.
Hey, I'm Tisha.
Hi, I'm Jasmine.
And we're all dating the same man.
I'm Jerome, and this is Jasmine.
We've been together 6 years. He slid in my DM on Facebook.
And she slid in my room after that. I never felt like one female could amount to everything that I wanted. Whether she can cook and clean, but she couldn't have sex, or she can cook, clean, have sex, but she didn't know how to be there financially.
We knew nothing about poly, and we tried it, we liked it, we started doing more research, and it just kind of went from there. And that's when Deja came into play. She was our first girl we tried it with.
Yeah. When Deja came in, it was just more of threesomes. And then Deja and Jasmine, they decided that they wanted to bring somebody else in.
That's when we brought in T-Bird.
We got baby Jazz. She ended up doing good.
We don't have a maximum limit of people in a relationship. We'll always have that safe space to add, but it just all depends on what we can handle mentally and physically.
Say, for instance, T was the last to be added. She said, hey, I want to look for a girl. I want another girl. Boom, everybody's going to be looking. And we're going to like do a group discussion. Oh, I found this girl. I found this girl. If everybody do like that person, whoever got the most game, going to go ahead and approach her. And then we'll take that girl out on a date. It can get a little complicated, but it's not as hard as it looks. We do everything together, so you always have time to spend time with all of us.
We really don't have jealousy and insecurity issues. We always uplift, especially within the women. We always uplifting one another.
So like before I met them, like I was a single parent and it was like real hard on me, but just meeting them and them meet my son, like it's got 10 times better.
It's going to be hard to be in a poly relationship if you do have a lot of insecurities, and if you're a jealous person, you won't be able to do it because it'll break you mentally. Poly is great when it comes to household chores. One person might be cleaning the kitchen, one person might be cooking, one person might be doing the kids' hair or helping the kids with homework. You just get a lot of help.
To make six figure as a person in the household, either just two people, you gotta work majority of the time. And a lot of that time that you working, you're never gonna have time for your child. They're benefiting and they're grasping and they're gaining a lot within just being into the relationship. Honestly, it's 20 times easier on a woman, if you ask me, than it is on a man, especially when it comes to mental, when it comes to sex, and when it comes to...
Oh, I want to clap it up. Because he might got a point. What's his name, Jerome? Jerome might got a point because, like I said, in his household dynamic, it's him and it's 4 other women. So whatever he's making and whatever these 4 women are making are combined together. So like, let's say simply from the average standpoint that it's 5 people in the house and those 5 people are making, let's say, $40K each. They are at $200K for that household. I repeat, they are at, and again, we talking about just, I simply said $40K just as a starting point because we know they might be making more. But with $40K, they are at $200K is what that household will be bringing in per year. I want to clap it up for that $200K. Because like one of the women said, I was a single mom and it was tough for me. It's tough, as we know, it's tough being a single mom, but now she entered into a household where everybody's income is combined. So you might only be making, let's say, $20,000 to have like a lower standpoint, but everybody else's income is pooled together. So now your $20K is offset by the $200K that is being poured into that household as a unit. So like he said at the end of that clip, sometimes it's better for the woman, but the tough part is trying to get a woman to understand that because as we all know, like I said, man, in America, without norms, it's not something it's not something that's popular. But let me finish this clip before I dive into the voice message.
Anything else?
With the right people, you would never want to go back. It's going to be hard to go back to being monogamous. Why make my life harder when I can have it
especially
easier?
with the right people? When you actually just take a chance and just understand and see that people can love differently, it really don't matter what you have or how you have it. I feel like it comes in all forms and shapes and sizes.
I want to clap it up. And at the end of that clip, it says Black Don't Judge. Again, that clip is from YouTube. The page is called Black Polygamy. It is called Juggling 4 Wives. So again, man, you guys can check that out. And like I said, man, polygamy is not for everybody. And as my guy said that, as the woman said, if you have any feelings of jealousy or insecurity, then that's not the situation for you, because regardless of how you feel, your partner is about 10 times out of 10 going to be involved with somebody else. About 10 times out of 10, your partner is going to be engaging in sexual activities or flirting or a combination of everything with somebody that is not you. So I agree, if you have insecurities, and again, insecurities or jealousy is not always a bad thing. It's not. I know it's kind of projected as, hey, any sign of insecurity and jealousy, it's terrible. No, but some of that can be healthy as well. But I'll get into that on a future episode. But it's tough. That's why I say, man, going back to her question. Now, see, she knows her limitations. She's not okay with that. So she's not even willing to open or entertain that. And again, she said that I tried to do some research, after he explained that to me, but I'm still not okay with it. So you can understand something, but still not be okay with it. But let's dive into this voice message. Let's get on to it. This is my guy, Sully. Welcome back to that LCP. Damn, I cannot find the voicemail that I had on the polygamy. But hey, just to end off that polygamy topic, to the woman who sent that question in, I mean, it's probably going to be tough, but at the end of the day, if that's not something you agree with, you have to leave. I know it sucks because that's kind of cliche advice, but there's not much else I can tell you because, like I said, that he told you that. You went, you did your research, you went to find out, if it's something that you can actually see yourself partaking in or not. You said that it's not because those are not your beliefs. So at the end of the day, regardless of how long you guys were together or how much leaving him might affect or alter your life, because we know a lot of couples now, they stay together because of inflation. They stay together because of how high it is to live alone now. Like, I live alone. I know. Like, the shit is fucking expensive, from rent going up every fucking month, food, utilities, everything else, your own personal expenses. It ain't cheap to live alone. So if it's something you want to put up with, because you got to understand, like, being that he expressed that to you, regardless of if you agree with it or not, it's a high chance he probably still going to do it because he told you it is my right to have multiple women. He told you that. He told you, even though it's a little crazy.
Oh my God.
But at least he was open. He was honest about it, because something that women always say is, a man can't be honest with me. He was honest. So I want to clap it up. I want to clap it up for him being honest, man. Now I want to jump into another voicemail from my guy, Sully. He sent in a story. Now, I haven't heard this yet, but I know it's a little story because I played the beginning to make sure everything was A-okay. So let's dive in. Let's see what my guy Sully had to say, man. What question he had so we could take this podcast in a whole nother direction. Talk to me, Sully.
And so got a story and a question for you. So, story time. I'm in the bed with this chick I was talking to. It's a while back. We were at a cabin. So, we had a cabin party and shit like that. So me and the girl, we sleep, right? So this other chick comes in the room while me and her are asleep and pulls my dick out, right? And starts giving me head the way.
Sully, what kind of cabin party you at, motherfucker? This motherfucker is at an orgy party. Nigga, I hope this ain't a work party. Now, I had to pause real quick because I've been invited to a work party in the past, and again, I didn't go. But I heard some shit that went on at the work function to where I got back to work, and I was looking at motherfuckers differently. Because a lot of motherfuckers was in relationships, they was married, or whatever the case may be. But I heard that some wild shit went on. So if you got a work party and you go to a work party or work function, I'm telling you right now, if you are a spouse of these people, your partner may be doing some freaky.
Brand new LCP.
Shit.
And all the while, she's playing with the other girl, pussy and shit. I guess she was trying to initiate a threesome, right? So, chick wakes up, I wake up. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I stopped the chick and give me head. And of course, the girl I'm laying in bed with is going off, bruh. She tripping. Nah, nigga, I know you had something to do with that. You was trying to set up this threesome, blah, say, blah, say, blah. Or you was just trying to mess with her while I was asleep. I'm like, bitch, hold on. I was in this room sleep before your ass was.
Wow. I want to pause it because it's a whole nother part to this voicemail. But see, and I've said this before, I don't like how every time some shit pop off, damn near the number one go-to is, hey, it has to be the man's fault. This motherfucker, I believe my boy Sully. I believe him. Because one thing Sully gonna do, Sully not gonna lie.
Ooh, you a lie.
Sully not gonna come on here. He not gonna drop the lie.
Ooh, you a lie.
So if my man Sully, bitch, I had to block all of that out. Cause I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be a better person. But you see, ladies, we can have sex initiated with us as well. My boy Sully was asleep, drooling. He was dreaming about the next day at work. You know Sully being a God fear. My nigga Sully was dreaming about buying another gun. As an avid gun owner that Sully is, he was not dreaming about a threesome. So to wake up, and now you gotta push another bitch off you, and now you gotta damn near fight the bitch that you was laying next to because she thinking that you had something to do with the 3-3. Come on, baby. Talk to me, Sully. Let me know the rest.
Yeah, so I'm in here sleep before she was, and then she got the nerve to say that I was trying to set up this threesome. But anyway, obviously, I understand why she's mad. You know, I pull her to the side, and I'm trying to chat with her. I'm like, hey, look, I ain't had nothing to do with this shit. She's like, nah, but that's fucked up. I know you've been talking to her. No, I ain't been talking to her. Like, I don't even know this chick like that, right? She just, I guess she was just drunk and wanted some dick. And she came up here thinking she's going to have a threesome. I don't know. It didn't have nothing to do with me. But she's mad at me. So I said, okay, situation's reverse. You in here sleep, and some dude comes up and starts giving you head. Oh, well, that's different. That's rape. I'm like, okay, so
Wait,
how
what?
is it different when the roles are reversed? How is it not rape when a woman does it to me, but when a guy does it to you? That's the question.
Wow.
What makes it different?
Oh, my God. See, Sully brings up a great point. And it's something that I always talk about over here because, you know,
Brand new LCP.
that's something that as men, we have to live with in society because and that is a great ass example. He said he was laying down, sleep. A woman comes in the room, pulls out his dick, tries to give him head. And the girl that was next to him goes off on him saying that he had something to do with it, that he initiated that in some type of way. Now, my boy Sully being a smart brother, he reversed it. He said, hey, so if a man comes in here and pulls down your panties and does some shit, and the woman said that's rape. But see, rape is not one-sided. But see, in society now, and again, that goes back to even men being kids, to where, like, I know maybe about a handful of men who have gone through things like this when they was a young child, between the ages of 7 and 12. In relation to being touched by a family member. And of course, when they finally had the courage to just tell their mom, their dad, whoever, another sibling, it was pushed to, they was just messing with you. It wasn't serious. But now when it's a woman, it's rape. And that's the part, and that's why so many black men grow up and we have these issues when it comes to mental health. That's why black men mental health is so fucking important to me and why it's something that I always talk about because it's pushed off in so many ways to where it's not applied the same way. Because that's rape. That's sexual harassment. Like that's being molested. Whatever fucking word you want to use. That is what happened to Sully. If this motherfucker was asleep and a woman came in there and without his say-so, without his knowledge, without him giving it the okay, and pulled his fucking dick out and did that shit, that is rape. And I know that women have a tough time understanding that because of the perception of men are strong, men are brolic. But no, we can be raped too, bitch. Like a man can get a date rape drug. I mean, yes, it happens at a extremely less frequency in relation to date rape drugs, but those things happen as well. It's not taken away from what a woman goes through. But if a man is asleep and a woman comes in there, and she's not told to be in there, and she initiates something while the motherfucker sleep, that's rape. That's rape. So I want to clap it up for Sully telling that story, man, because the fact that this podcast is listened to by 80% women, hopefully that at least provides a tiny bit of insight in relation to those things can happen as well. Yes, a man is strong. Yes, he could have just woke up and punched this hoe in the face. But then he would have been going to jail for assault because when the police show up and he say, hey, I punched her because she was raping me, he's going to be pushed off. Nigga, shut up. You a grown-ass man. You wasn't being raped. Because 9 times out of 10, that is how law enforcement is going to look at you. I remember going back when I was working in the fucking school district. And I had hella teenage girls flirting with me. Me being a grown-ass man, me trying to protect myself, I made sure I went to the director and the principal. I said, hey, just so you know, it's a group of girls, they making inappropriate comments towards me, I already let them know. But if the wrong person hears that shit out of context, that can be taken a certain way. So just so you know, to protect myself, I'm letting you know. And I was told by this female director, oh, John, you're young, you're a handsome man. These girls have a crush on you. Eventually it'll go away. And I'm like, bitch, what? I want to book. I'm like, bitch, what? See, because, and not too long after that, I left, I resigned, because things like that, to me, is setting a man up for failure. Because if I come to you and I tell you, hey, I'm not comfortable with that because, you know, it's things going on, it's words being said, and these things taken out of context can lead to something else. So, again, I want to clap it up one more time for my guy Sully for sending in that voice message. And I was going to save this next topic for a future episode, but I dive into some of it now. Now, you know, a couple weeks ago, I posted something on Instagram. Matter of fact, I think I got it pulled up where I'm going to play what I posted, where I said something to the effect of, relationships are not for men in 2023 unless he finds an amazing throwback woman whose values and standards aren't gathered from TikToks and memes. Now, let me see if the video that I posted back at this time play. I'm going to read to you a lengthy message I got from a woman, and also I got some voicemails from this topic as well. So sit back. This is what I had to say a couple weeks ago. I know who it is, man. Sexiest Man Alive, host of that LCP. Now, I was having a conversation yesterday, right, with a woman online, and she said, you know, I'm single because I'm waiting for this particular man to come past me. And I'm like, what type of man are you looking for? And she said, he has to be this, and this. And I'm like, you're probably not going to find that. I know you don't want to hear that, but you're probably not going to find that, because one thing that people always forget, no matter what type of relationship you get into, if it's a serious one, you are going to have to compromise. Even if you don't want to, compromise is something that you cannot avoid. I've said this many times. Hold on, let me drive up at Dunkin' getting the coffee. But I said this many times before, man. Compromise is something that you cannot avoid. Compromise, it has to be in it. But what a lot of people want is they want to into a relationship. They want to stay the same, but they want somebody else to compromise and adapt to what they want. Probably not going to find it. Yes, sir. And that's what I had to say a couple weeks ago. And I got, I believe, about 2 or 3 voicemails from women in relation to that. So let's dive into it. Let's see what they had to say. And like I said, man, you guys can always support the LCP.
Brand new LCP.
Via Cash App. My Cash App is $NYC Story 718, and my Venmo is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. Or you guys can support for free by spreading the word, reposting on your social media accounts, letting your friends know. Like I said, man, the focus, the goal over here is to have important conversations that are unfiltered, that are just, that we can be comfortable having. Because as you guys know, with social media, it's so much, it's a lot of sensitive motherfuckers out here, to where anytime you say some shit, motherfuckers don't agree. It's this little corny ass backlash, this triggering outrage bullshit. Like, I remember back in the day, you could have grown ass conversations, and that's the goal over here.
Brand new LCP.
So let me get that voicemail queued up. This is what homegirl had to say in relation to what I said.
But no, you cannot find a perfect man without compromise.
I want to clap it up, man, because she's right, man. I know that these days, especially with social media, it's kind of flipped and contorted to make it seem as if a man has to be the only person to compromise to win you over. But ladies, a lot of times you have to compromise too, because that whole conversation about what I said was started because I was having a conversation with a woman, and she said, I want a God-fearing man. I want a man who's in touch with the Lord. I want a man who goes to church. I want a man who does XYZ. So then, of course, before I replied, I went to her social media page. And her social media page, she's posting pictures of her ass. You know, I seen a couple titty pictures on there. I see videos of her twerking. I see, you know, her smoking and posting those videos out with her friends. So I said, hey, if you meet a man that's God-fearing, a man that's in touch with the Lord, a man that is everything that you just described to me that you wanted, but he doesn't want his woman doing those things, then how would you feel? And her reply was, no. no man gonna tell me what to do. And I'm like, that's the issue right there. You have all these qualifications about what you want, things that you require. But the minute a man says, hey, I don't want my woman going outside dressing half naked, then it's an issue. It becomes flipped into he's trying to control you. He's trying to tell you what to do. What if this man simply don't want his woman going outside dressing like she's 17 years old? That's why I say, man, there's so much confusion and there's so much just...
Oh my God.
And that's why I feel like we get into a place, and I've said this on a recent episode, to where I feel like a lot of men have been silenced because we have to enter into a relationship, provide, do. But the very second we make any type of request or say something that we want that would possibly make us happy, then it becomes an issue. And that's the part that's tough. But let's dive into this next voice message, man, in regards to what I said.
So yes, short version, do I think the type of man that I would want in a partner exists? Yes. A little bit of elaboration on that answer. Yes, because of the type of men that I surround myself with. As far as my friends, they have a lot of great qualities in the friendship, but also I can see great qualities in them that would make them a great partner to somebody, even if it's not necessarily me. But yeah, so yes would be the short answer to that. As far as compromises, yes, you would have to compromise in some type of way, but it also depends on the compromise. Some people kind of get carried away with that, or they do too much, or they just want one person to be making all the compromises versus both people giving and finding a common ground. And then sometimes there's issues that you can't compromise on. It's just a straight up, this person feels this way and this other person feels that way. Prime example, some people that have approached me, they were more interested in just getting physical or, sex before marriage, all that type of stuff. And I could kind of tell that by how the conversation was going. So I already knew okay, this is not going to be my thing. I'm not compromising on that. So yeah, that would be a non-negotiable.
I want to clap it up, man, because there's more to that voicemail, but I want to take a second real quick because she's right. Now, I know that sex before marriage is something that, a lot of people don't do. So I want to say that right there. A lot of people do not have sex before marriage, and that's not something I'm lying about.
Ooh, you a lie.
So her even wanting to have, a partner who is going to wait for marriage to have sex, that is already going to, again, this is not knocking her, but that is going to reduce her options of men greatly. Now, do I think that she can find the type of man she wants 100%? But you got to understand that if you meet a man and that man has been sexually active before, and now he meets you, and now let's say he takes 2.5 years to propose, because of course it takes time. He got to understand you and understand everything about you and feel comfortable and feel safe as well. I know people don't like to believe that. A man has to feel that too, but he has to. So if you're telling a man who has had sex before, hey, you got to wait 2.5 years to have sex, then it's probably going to be an issue. And, when I had a conversation with her before in relation to certain things, she doesn't want to do anything sexually because he's going to want some form of compromise. He's going to want some form of, okay, so we can't be intimate in terms of regarding the actual act of sex, but can we still do certain things and express those things to each other, because those are things that those are things that I might want to express to you because of the feelings that I'm having for you. Now, we don't have to go as far as the act of having sex, but I want to still be intimate with you in some shape or form. And with her not wanting to do that, that probably going to be an issue. Or she might meet a guy who says he's okay with it, and in front of her says he's okay, but on the side, he might have a boo thing on the side. Now, in a boo for having a boo thing. We don't want the boo thing, but let's just call it what it is, man. A man out here who has had sex before, who has been sexually active and now enters into a relationship, let's say for 2-3 years, and he can't perform any sex acts whatsoever. That is probably going to be an issue. It's probably going to be a cause of tension, frustration at some point throughout the course of that relationship, or he might propose fast as hell simply to get some ass. And again, I'm not saying that this is what she is going to get, so I want to let that be known. It's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying about the struggles and the challenges that might resurface. But let's finish up her voice messages.
Example of a compromise would be at one point in time, I didn't really like dressing up a lot. I still don't, but a lot has changed since then. But I think in the compromise was this person is attracted to me, and they like when I dress up. They always compliment me when I dress up. So then I was like, I want to dress up, but find things that I actually like that fit my body type and make me feel good about, putting in all that extra effort for that, so that it wasn't just for that specific person, but I always appreciated when they complimented me and all of that jazz. But yeah, so I think that was a decent compromise.
But I want to clap it up, man, because like I always say, man, compromise comes in all shapes or form, and you can't avoid compromise, man. Like I said, man, you guys can get to the point of living together, and you guys might want to go out and buy a new TV. He might see a TV on sale, a 42-inch or some shit like that on sale for $350, and she might want the 60-inch because you pay an extra $100. You might get the 60-inch TV on sale for Black Friday. That is going to come to some form of let's say it together, a compromise. Yes, sir. That's why I say, man, you can't avoid it. And ladies, one thing to the ladies, man, before I close out the episode. Ladies, if you have all these standards and qualifications that you have in a guy, things that you require, things that you need, you have to understand that a man making those same requests, or a man having things that he might potentially want in a wife, and he expressed those things to you, you have to stop looking at it. You have to stop looking at it as he is trying to control you. Get your ass off social media and get back to the place of having your own individual opinion. Because people pick and choose when to quote the old days. Oh, back in the day, my grandpa did everything for the. But everybody always leaves out a lot of things that the woman did in regards to cook, clean. Back then, she knew her place. When it came time to cooking, she prepared his plate. She didn't eat till after he ate. People always leave out that other shit. How grandma didn't have no voice in the house. How grandma sat there and was quiet as fuck as the man did everything. So basically, she was a happy maid, if you want to be honest about it. So stop leaving out what grandma did when you want to brag about all the things that grandpa paid for. And stop leaving out the fact that your grandma couldn't, or your mama back then couldn't make a livable wage, and that she had no other choice but to have him pay the bills, because had she tried to pay them bills herself, she would have been asked out on the street due to the fact that women ain't have many rights. So stop leaving out all that shit, and including the parts that benefit you. If you gonna say the shit, make sure you say all the shit. That's all I'm gonna say, man. So you guys for checking in, man. Thank you again. You guys for staying locked in and focused on that brand new LCP. I love you guys. Stay safe. Again, my Cash App is $NYC Story 718. If you guys want to support extra, my Venmo is Lunchroom Chatter Pod. And stay locked in, man. New episodes on the way. Brand new topics, brand new segments. Man, I've been working. I've been tired as hell. But when you guys show up, when you guys support, it gives me that extra motivation to keep things coming at that.
Brand new LCP.